Hey everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton and Leia Burns, all the way from Adelaide, Australia. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and we are celebrating Aron Eisenberg. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Welcome, Leia. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Sirach?
Doing well, doing well. I've been out in Australia before. I was in Sydney and Melbourne.
Oh, what'd you think?
I love it. I love it. I thought it was great. I had a great time out there.
Not too hot for you?
No, not too hot. People treated me great. The people are nice out there. And I like the weather. It's a lot like California, a lot like California weather.
It just sounds like something you say when you can't. You're like, the weather was nice, I guess.
No, I mean, it was beautiful. I went and visited the Opera House, and I saw the bridges that they have there, and visited the museums. It was pretty interesting. It was a fun trip, and what I like about it is it's a metropolitan area, at least where I was. So there was a lot of shopping. There were theaters. There were a lot of activities. And I'm used to that kind of lifestyle, so it really suits me well to have good restaurants and good shopping and, the entertainment dynamic of life.
That's good. Yeah, I've been to Sydney a couple of times. It's a lot bigger than my state, and lots very glitzy, and I've seen the Opera House, and it's even for Australians, they love seeing the Opera House. It's really special.
Yeah, and I took a boat ride on the harbor and saw the homes that they have with boat docks along the way. I thought it was just really cute. Definitely a place that I could see myself living in if I could afford the lifestyle. It would be definitely a place that I could consider.
I could definitely see you sitting on the dock of the bay.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
There it is.
So
that's an American song, Leia. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place, though. Yeah. And there's a lot of Star Trek love out there. Is there not?
Yeah, there is. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think every state has their own club, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's one in Adelaide anyway. But yeah, cool. Definitely. It's lots of Star Trek love.
Yeah.
How did you get into Deep Space? Oh.
No, go ahead, Sirach.
I want to know how you got into Deep Space Nine. If you got into Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. So it came out when I was about 5 years old. And my dad started watching it because he was a huge Next Generation fan. So he started watching it, and I vaguely remember it. And then when I got a bit older, I started watching it again, and I fell madly in love with Nog. He was like my favorite character. And I love Jake as well. He was like, Jake and Nog were my two favorite characters.
We love hearing this. We like where this is going so far.
Yeah, keep it up. Keep it going.
And like I read everything I could get my hands on, like the young adult books. I adored them. I've read every one that I could. The internet was just coming out around that time, so on StarTrek.com was fairly new. So I was, looking up all that sort of stuff. And then the episodes, so the season had finished, the series had finished by that point, and there was reruns of episodes on our TV, but the episodes would air at about 12 o'clock at night, midnight. So I would stay up to watch these episodes, and yeah, I absolutely adored them and loved them.
Wow! So we helped contribute to the delinquency of a minor and made you stay up late.
Yep, rocking up to school half asleep. Absolutely.
What was it about Nog that you identify with that made you gravitate towards his character?
I don't know. I think he was cheeky, or what you Americans say, sassy. I think he was. I don't. I think it was just he was a bit different. And then I really enjoyed his character arc. From going to a delinquent to, Starfleet officer. And I loved his relationship with Jake. How they were just such close friends, despite the fact they were from two different parts of the universe. And I liked how Deep Space Nine showed how children were. What's that?
That's me beeping. Sorry about that. Somebody's out there. I'll try to.
Oh, good.
In America, we have all kinds of noises happening. It doesn't matter.
It's okay. But lost my train of thought now.
Oh, you're just talking about how cheeky Nog was and that relationship there. What did you have a specific like favorite moment or favorite episode with Nog or with Jake and Nog?
I think I like the episodes when they were older, when Nog was at Starfleet, but they were still hanging out together, despite the fact they were adults. And I think I like the episodes where they showed their rooms and their quarters and stuff, and just I like that sort of thing, that despite they've gotten older and gone to two very different two very different things, they are still friends, and that's what I liked.
I think we lost Sirach for a second there. But do you remember that episode? I know the one you're thinking of where they're living together for a second there. And Aaron's like working out, Nog's all buff and all that, and Sirach's a mess. And I actually, that was one of my favorite ones. I also really liked the one with Red Squad. Do you remember the Red Squad?
Yes. Yeah. Valiant. Yeah.
Valiant. That's right.
That was a good one. Yeah.
So, did you ever get a chance to, and I know you corresponded with Aron online, but did you ever get a chance to meet him in person?
I did. So we first started chatting to each other when I was about 14, and he had this amazing web series called trekfriends.com, not web series, so a website called trekfriends.com, and I started messaging him there. And then when I had a brief stint in the hospital, he sent me his phone number. So we used to chat a lot on the phone throughout the years. And then in 2008, I saved up really hard and went to America, and met him, and we hung out with each other for a while. And then when I came back to Adelaide, I think it was about a year or so later, he came to Adelaide for a convention. And I met him there again, but we still, kept messaging each other, still kept talking to each other, pretty much all the way till he passed.
Did you say you went to America? Was that for a convention? What was that for?
No, just because I wanted to meet him, and also I wanted to see America and, do the usual touristy things. But the main highlight of me traveling there was just to see him, because we had talked to each other for so long, and I wanted to actually meet him. So, that was really, really great. And he made my experience in America really awesome.
That's so cool. So you never went to Star Trek Las Vegas then?
Oh, I did very briefly.
Really?
So I did a Kentucky tour, which I'm not sure if you guys know that. It's like a tour for the young adults. And on that Kentucky tour was Las Vegas. So in the morning, I went to the Star Trek Las Vegas, and I thought it was amazing. It was really, really cool. Went on, I think, one ride, and I was a bit Las Vegas was the only place I was allowed to drink, because in Australia the age is 18, but in America it's 21, and I had just turned 20. So I was allowed to drink, I think, in Las Vegas.
I think it's still illegal.
Is it?
I think it's still illegal.
I mean, I was 21. I just turned 21.
Then that's fine. That's just fine.
But I remember going on the ride and being very hungover and not enjoying it as much as I could. But I thought the whole thing was amazing. I really wish I had something like that in Australia.
And when we go to Vegas, because that's like the biggest Star Trek convention in the world, as Sirach would attest if he were here. I don't know what happened to him, but he'll be back, I'm sure. I've noticed there are the five countries that are most prevalent there. Obviously, there's America, there's Canada, there's UK, Germany, and Australia. Those are the ones that we see the most in person, and also online, like in Star Trek groups and Star Trek pages. They're always like right around third or fourth most people. So you guys definitely like your Star Trek there. Do you have a lot of conventions?
We did. I think we had a few more a few years ago, but at the moment, pretty much the only conventions we have are the Oz Comic Con, which is a lot of celebrities from movies and comic cons. Hi, Ciroc again.
Hello. One back.
And
He moved inside to plug his phone in, is my guess.
Yeah, I had to plug the phone back in.
Nice. Good guess. Anyway, please continue, Leia. Sorry.
So I think the two comic conventions are Supernova and Oz Comic Con. And they're the only two at the moment. But I know every now and then quite a few Star Trek actors come visit, and that's always something quite big. I remember Walter Koenig came a few years ago, and that was, a big event.
Wonderful human. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I've always wanted to meet him. He's another one of my favorites, Chekhov. And so you got Nog, Jake, and then Chekhov in my favorite characters.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow. So, Leia, let's talk a little bit more about Aron as a person. When you sent the email to let us know your story, you had some really, really important things to say that normally I would say I wish Aron were here to hear this, but in this case, I think that he was aware of how important he was to you, right?
I hope so. I really did. He's helped me so much throughout my life. When we first started talking to each other, when I was about 15, 16, I went to hospital for anorexia, and it was quite touch and go. We weren't sure if we were going to make it. And so my dad knew how much I loved Aron, and he knew that I'd been chatting to him via email. So he sent an email on my behalf, just like basically letting him know that, I was in hospital and it's not looking good. And he replied and sent me this, I think I still have it, this long, beautiful email, basically talking about how, when he was born with one kidney, had a kidney transplant, and how much that affected him, and how he still kept going. And it just gave me the strength I really needed. And he also had his number at the end, at the bottom, saying, "Call me anytime." And that just meant so much for me, because I was in a very dark place at the time. And I think it really did help me heal and recover. And so then, I talked to him on the phone, and, I was quite young and geeky and at the time. And at the beginning, I think I viewed him as, this amazing actor that I admire. And, I was very starstruck. But then throughout the years, he became a very close friend of mine, and someone that always, gave me strength and great advice. And then when I decided to take the plunge of getting to acting, he gave me the best of it. All I had to do was just message him and say, I'm going through this audition, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that, can you help me? And he'll just give me some amazing advice, and it would really, really help.
Wow.
Wow. It's great to hear things like that. I mean, these are the things that are done in the dark that people don't know about, and just shows you, even when no one is looking, the kind of person that Aron is and was, That's amazing.
He didn't need to message me, like he didn't know me from a bar of soap. He, no skin off his nose if he messaged.
Is that an Australian thing?
What, skin off your nose, really?
No,
yeah,
a bar of soap. Didn't know me from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't.
Yes. Well, he didn't know me from Adam. That's probably another Australian thing. But he didn't know me. He was under no obligation to message me, and definitely not give me his personal number. But he did, and it changed my life absolutely, and really helped me. It shows what an amazing person he was.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I think 16 years ago. So I'm 32 tomorrow. So
wow.
I was, about 15, I think. So, long time. I've known him for more than half my life.
And now, on top of that, not only have you made a full recovery, and you did some acting, and you seem and act and talk very healthily. But on top of that, you've got some big news for just how healthy you are right now, right?
Yeah, I am currently 7 months pregnant. So,
oh, wow.
It's my first child, and very exciting.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. And I remember when I found out, one of the first few people that I told, apart from my family and my partner, was Aron. I messaged him and said, I'm going to be a mum.
Cool. Wow,
and he was very excited for me.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah. So we're starting to see more and more that, I mean, just for a little perspective, I mean, from my own point of view, I come from a long line of animal rights activists. We're like big hippies about that kind of stuff. And something I kind of learned from my parents is that a lot of times we get bogged down in trying to save the world or trying to save everything and everyone, and you really can't do that. But what you can do is you can make a difference in one cat's life or in one dog's life or in one humane society. And in this case, Aron seemed to be like that for actual humans, in that he was there making sure to make a difference in this individual's life and that individual's life, and not just looking at the big picture of trying to change the world, but also looking at the more individual picture of focusing on the actual person. And it seems like you guys had this consistent friendship for what was that, like 18 years?
Yeah, about 17, 18 years, I think. I did work it out. I think it was about 17. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's awesome. I mean, like I said, there's no better way to kind of measure somebody than to see what they're doing when nobody's looking, you know? And that's where you really have a true measurement of somebody's character. And to find this out, I mean, I've known Aron all my, pretty much all my adult life, and this is not something that he would talk about or brag about. The kind of influence and difference that he made in people's lives. It's something that he never talked about, which lets me know that he doesn't do it for the purpose of bragging or to say I'm a good person. A lot of people like to advertise how good of a person they are. I go to church every Sunday. Like, but and then some people don't say who they are, and other people say it for them.
Cirroc, you're saying that there's some people that when they tip $1 at Starbucks, they want to make sure that the barista's watching them put it in. They're like, oh, you're not watching.
Thank you very much for this service. See, I enjoyed what you just did.
Everybody look, here's the dollar. Look at me.
And that's one of the signs of people that do things for the wrong reasons. The other one is that, you go around bragging that you did something and advertising it. But when you do things for the right reasons and from the goodness of your heart, you do it because it's the right thing to do and because that's what you feel compelled to do as a person. That's who you are. That's part of your nature and your character. And I think nothing speaks more volumes of who Aron was as a person than the people whose lives he's touched in a very real way, and not in a frivolous, superficial way, not in a Star Trek convention meet and greet type of way. Mm-hmm. But in a genuine, what are your problems? What are you going through? And what can I do to make a difference to help make you, go through a better time? How can I ease and alleviate your pain? And for a guy that was going through his own level of pain, to be concerned about other people's pain and emotions is another testament to the kind of character he had. And he was going through his own issues. But he used that to make himself strong, and then used that to make others strong as well. So, I mean, I can't say enough about, my buddy Aron Eisenberg. He was a great man, and a friend of humanity. So I'm not just a friend of humans, but a friend of humanity.
Absolutely.
Hey, Leia, was there what was the funniest thing that Aron ever said or did as a human or as a Ferengi? Was there ever a moment that just kind of stuck out in your mind that you thought was just the funniest thing? Because he made us laugh all the time. So I was just wondering if there are any new funny jokes that he made that we should know about.
Not that I can remember jokes, but I remember it used to make me laugh how obsessed he was with World of Warcraft. He would, I would, and I love him. He was great, but it annoyed me just a tiny little bit because I'd call from Australia, which was, a lot of money, and he'd be talking to me, but he'd be playing World of Warcraft at the same time. And I'm like, oh, but I heard it's a good game, but yeah, I'll be like, just talk to me, get off the video game. But it used to make me laugh, him doing that. He was very dedicated to that game. I can't think of anything specifically that he said, but he'd have me laughing a lot, especially in times where I really needed it as well. Yeah, it's a very funny guy, very charismatic. He made you feel at ease. Absolutely.
Yeah. I always thought he would pull somebody's card and always call out something that would be like so truthful that it would make you laugh, You're just trying to avoid that. You're just trying to avoid saying this, or you're just doing that, or you're just doing this. And he'd call you out and you'd just laugh and say, yeah, you're right, Aaron. You got me.
You got me.
You got me.
So Leia, you should have done that to him and been like, how come every time I call, you are a half-elf rogue going through the mines? I think
I did once. Once I got a bit annoyed with him and he was very apologetic. But I always remember I'll call and then he'll be a little bit quiet. I'm like, oh, you're on World of Warcraft again. This is costing me so much money.
It's like, no, I'm listening. 1 second.
Yep, that's what he used to do.
Like, my crew needs me. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. He's a gamer.
Yep.
He's a gamer. But that's really great. That's a great story. I mean, I'm so glad that you came and shared your story with us. It just adds one more level of dynamic and one more layer on the onion. It just lets me know another person whose life he personally reached. This isn't just, a general thing. He was really personal about it. We do what we do on the show and in the episodes, and that's an impersonal impact on people, right? Because they don't know us, and there's that barrier of not having met somebody. But he meets you, he gets to know you, he's intimately involved in your life, and he gives you his best advice, which is, usually in your best interest, if not always in your best interest. And words of encouragement that we all need sometimes, pick-me-ups to let you know that things are going to be all right, things will work out. He was always good for that positive pick-me-up. And thank you for sharing your story, Leia. It's good for the people out there to know that this is the kind of guy Aaron was, and we've got a lot of testimony to back that up.
Yeah, it's amazing. And now you've got a baby coming in a couple months.
Yeah.
Is boy or girl? Is it going to be named Aaron? You can spell it both ways, male or female.
I would love to, but I just found out it was a little girl, and I was going to message him, and I think he passed that weekend or that week, so I never got to actually tell him. But I did message Melissa and say, I never got the chance to tell him that it was a girl. But I could. Aaron could be a middle name, could be a girl's middle name.
Do you have a first name?
Isla May.
Isla May.
Yeah. So that was her name.
I've never
That's
heard
really
that
great.
one.
Isla May.
How do you
Just for the
that?
record, Nora is Aaron backwards.
Oh, there we go.
That's pretty solid, Sirach.
Thank you. I can spell.
Or should I say Coric backwards?
Yes, thank you.
So, Leia, we got to run. Any final thoughts on Aaron? One final elevator pitch on what kind of a person he was?
He was one of the most genuine, most kindest people I have ever met. He helped me in ways that I wish I could repay him. And I'm going to miss him a lot. I really am. Like, he's been part of my life for over half my life. And I'm really, really, really going to miss him.
Yeah.
We'll miss him.
Definitely. All right, Leia. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
There's also one more big thing from Leia. Leia's actually moving today too. This is such a big day. She took time away from her moving day, 7 months pregnant, just to call us and talk about our favorite humans. So thank you so much for that, Leia.
No problem. It was really important that, I told people my story and, what an amazing person he was.
We hope to see you at Star Trek Las Vegas in 2020.
Yep, absolutely. I'll try my best. I'll have a little baby, but yep, I'll try.
Great. And for those of you at home, always remember the 7th rule.